What's up? Welcome to my channel. I'm Doc Holly Health. Typically, I share fitness information on here, from physical therapy to weightlifting to yoga and more. I just love all things movement and health. I'm a doctor of physical therapy, but this is my first vlog and I'm super pumped about it. I just got married May 13th, 2022 here. I'm from Miami, Florida. We had the most beautiful wedding, and I can definitely share more about that if you're interested. But I loved so much how we did our honeymoon, and for those of you who want to honeymoon in Santorini and Mykonos, the Greek islands, then this is for you, especially if you kind of like a mix of like being laid back and also doing like hikes, but just eating good food, enjoying beautiful views and each other's company. This is a very romantic place to go to. I have literally wanted to go to this place ever since Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants came out, and I dreamed of my future husband and I doing our honeymoon there, my costas. And those of you who are 90s babies know exactly what I mean. If not, you might think I'm speaking a different language, but this place totally hit home. I wouldn't have done anything different. Prayer works, manifestation works. Girl, if you want to go to Santorini for your honeymoon, I say do it. So this is a solid 7-day itinerary. We were there 7 full days, not counting travel days. Our travel days were a bit crazy getting there from Miami, but we did it. The long days were worth it. And here, without further ado, is our time there. I took a ton of photos, so throughout, just as I'm speaking, I'm gonna throw up photos next to me on either side so you can kind of just get the full picture, because that's super important when you're deciding where to go on your vacation. So I'll talk about what I liked and maybe what I didn't like about our whole trip. So we did round trip in and out of Mykonos. So we did the first 3 nights in Mykonos. Then we also ended up going back to Mykonos for our last night. And then we did the 4 in-between nights in Santorini, where we stayed in Ammoudi, which is like the more quieter, like honeymoon side is what people tell me of Santorini, which I'm super happy with that decision. I loved that. Starting with Mykonos, we stayed at Branco, Branco. This is where Brawley and I decided to splurge. We were like, it's our honeymoon. Let's get the honeymoon suite. Let's make sure we have a sea view and a jacuzzi, because who doesn't want those things when they're in Greece? So we found a place that kind of hit all of those things, and it was like, I think like €750. So this was a lot for us. We have never spent this much place, but we wanted to do it right. And I'm a beach girl, so when deciding to stay like more the beach side or more the town side, I was more like excited about staying on the beach and enjoying, you know, a day just like chilling out on the sand. So we did that at Platos. Gialos. I'm totally gonna botch so many things, so I'm so sorry. You can correct me if you want, but I know that throughout this I'm probably gonna say a lot of things wrong because my pronunciation with different languages is not the best. So I loved this place. The service was great. There was breakfast every day that came with. So good. Eggs, pancakes, the coffee, delicious. And the way you order coffee is a little bit different there. What our favorite one was getting the frappe. They call this, the hostess was telling us that this is the construction workers' coffee, because it can last all day, because there's like foam at the top, and if you just keep pouring like water and stirring it, the foam actually has the espresso in it. So we loved having that like for the morning and taking it throughout the day. But they'll ask you if you want your coffee like hot or cold, and like think with sugar, without sugar. They ask you specifically what you want. You can't just be like a regular coffee. So the Greek coffee is good. The eggs were good. We enjoyed our breakfast with the view, and we did the beach the first day. We stayed out for a couple hours, and Then the spa services came around and they asked us if we wanted to get massages, which in the back of our mind, we already kind of wanted to do a massage. So we took them up on that. We went and got massages and kind of just relaxed. Oh, totally missed the champagne bottle. Yes, so I wanted to make our first day really special. So I had pre-ordered a bottle of champagne to our room. So after breakfast, we went upstairs and just like partied a little, had the champagne. And then we went to the beach, and then we got massages. Then we got ready for dinner, and the first day I just wanted to stay close, kind of get used to the new time change because it was 7 hours different from Miami. So we just walked to a restaurant that was close by that I saw had a lot of good reviews. It was called Avli, Thodori. And we sat on the beach, which was super cute. They have like cushions on the beach, good vibe, got a bottle of wine, enjoyed each other's company. And they also gave us free dessert, I think, because on the reservation I told them it was our honeymoon. So 10 out of 10, we liked that place. And we pretty much just went home. We were deciding if we wanted to go to Scorpio's that night, but I was kind of tired and it was a little bit chilly. It was like in the 60s and I just wasn't feeling it. So that's something that we kind of missed out on in Mykonos, was going to the beach club. So if I were to go back, I would definitely make sure I have time to hit up a beach club, probably like in the day, but we didn't get to that. And I'm okay with that because we were there for a honeymoon to enjoy each other's company and romance and all that good stuff. The next day, it was quite a bit windy. So we did the breakfast thing and then we decided to spend that day in town. So we went into town. The other great thing about Branco is like they have a driver. So the driver took us in and out of town, and Mykonos Town is just a gem. It's got that whitewashed buildings. It's got like the white, like the gray stones with the white like paint in between. I don't know how to describe that. But just every little alleyway, every little nook and cranny you go is just adorable. So it's great to take photos, to just walk around and enjoy the beauty, because it's not like that here in the States. Everything is just so cute. Then we like, you know, saw all the churches around, the windmills, did our thing. We got our first Greek salad. When I say we, I mean me. Braulio doesn't eat salad. He got some like rack of lamb ribs or something like that. But I got the most phenomenal, my favorite one of the trip, Greek salad at Niko's Tavern. This place I read was highly reviewed. So if you want to go there for lunch or dinner, I would definitely recommend going there. It was so good. Oh, and there's this little, not little, there's this massive pelican and it's pink and it hangs out there. So it's kind of a cool thing to see, hopefully. And then we continued walking. And made our way to Katerina's, and we got like cocktails there. Braulio got some beer. I got an espresso martini, and it was just a beautiful view there. We actually liked it so much that we went back there when we came back for like the end of our trip. So Katerina's, definitely go there. And then we kept walking, got more drinks. We were just kind of like bopping around. Then let me look at my notes. Day 2. Okay, we stayed in Mykonos Town until it was time for our dinner reservation at Pepe. It was a great experience. We totally love this place. I think we got the wrong thing though. I got like baby rooster or something like. There was 4 courses. Our favorite course was the pasta course, where we got the ravioli, and that was totally good. But get like more of the pasta or pizza, I think. Then we wanted another drink, so we went to this place called the Alley that was just around town before we went home. Those were only 2 days in Mykonos. Like I said, I would have done a beach club, and there was also this place I heard that was really cool that we didn't make it to, called 180 Sunset Bar. You need reservations for that, so check that out. Next day, we woke up and it was pretty much just eat breakfast and hop on the ferry. The ferry experience was more intense than I thought it would be, but that's just because that was the only day we had that was both rainy and windy. So the boats, first of all, was delayed like an hour, and it was really bumpy. So if you get motion sickness, you might have had it. Thank God I fell asleep, because if not, then I'd get motion sickness, so I definitely would have been feeling it. We got the ferries beforehand from Ferry Scanner. Round trip, it was like 353 to 380, something like that, euro. It's not cheap, but it's okay. I'm gonna get a sip of water. I'm not used to this vlogging thing. I realize I can kind of talk forever. And when you get on the boat, I just want you to know what to expect. You're gonna get put to the bottom of the ship in the cargo hold, and they will just start the boat. Once everybody's on and they close that door, you're in the cargo hold, the boat's going, you don't have anywhere to sit, you're supposed to put your luggage down, and then once it's your turn to go upstairs, that's when you show them your ticket. So you pretty much could be on the boat 30 minutes out before you get upstairs to show them your ticket. And if it's not the right one, or it's not working, or you didn't buy the ticket, they will just make you pay for it up there. So that was that. I don't want to waste too much time talking about it. It wasn't that bad, but I just like did not know what to expect there. Like I said, that was kind of our rainier day. So we got to our place in Ammoudi. 110% when we go back, we will stay there. It was called Galaxy Villas and Suites. And they bumped us up to the honeymoon suite, even though we hadn't originally paid for that. So thank you, Galaxy. The only really big difference that I could tell from the honeymoon suite was it was more private. All of them had a great view. All of them looked like they had plenty of space. The room was a perfect size. And it just looked like some of them were like more connected, like out by the jacuzzi area, and ours was just like blocked off by a wall. So that was great. We enjoyed the jacuzzi like every single day we were there. So we kind of just like unpacked and hung out in the jacuzzi until it was time for dinner. And since it was kind of chillier that day, we just walked to the place that was next door for dinner called the White Lounge. And it was super cute and like worth going because of the view. It was like windows all around, so you could see the whole view of the Aegean Sea. We got wine, we got Amari, Braulio got like we both got a pasta dish. His had meat in it and mine had vegetables in it. It was good. Not anything to call home and tell mom about, but it was good. Like we were complaining about that dinner. The next day was our favorite day. So let me tell you a little bit about Santorini. There's 3 little like towns. Fira is more like the party, like local scene. Ammoudi is a little bit more like low key. That's where they say the honeymooners go. That's in the middle. And then Ia is like kind of like down to the right. That's what you think of when you think of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. You think of the cliffside and just the packed white buildings. So beautiful. There's a hike that goes between the 3 of them. They say the hike is about 3 hours from start to finish. However, Braulio and I did the hike from Ammoudi, where we stayed, down to Ia, the lowest point. We went all the way down, and it took us 3 hours just to do like that half of it. That being said, we weren't going very fast. We stopped everywhere you could stop and like look at the churches and look at the view, take photos. So we stopped quite a bit. And that I think was a good way to do it because you got to like just chill out and enjoy. If I would have done the whole hike, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it so much unless you're a hiker. But I would have been just like kind of tired and felt like I was working out, which I love to work out, but I wasn't there for that. I was there to enjoy the view. So we did that. We went all the way down to Ammoudi Bay Tavern, Ammoudi Fish Tavern. There's a few little like places you can get a bite to eat and a drink down there, but I read the Ammoudi Fish Tavern is the best, and that by far was like one of my favorite places that we went. We both got drinks. I got like limoncello spritz, just being a little extra. Braulio always gets beer. Then I got some ceviche, which was so delicious. I can't even tell you. I love ceviche, and that ceviche was definitely one of the best I've ever had. It was around 4 once we completed this, and we had a driver pick us up, and I wish I would have organized one ahead of time because I thought there was just gonna be like drivers kind of like around, but there's not. So organize a driver ahead of time when you want to be picked up, because let me tell you, you probably won't want to hike all the way back up unless you want to work out, because it's just stairs. Just like stairs up a cliffside, and if you do that whole thing and you have to walk your butt back up, you're not gonna want to. I like to work out, like I said, and I would have not wanted to go back up. So we got a driver back, and from there we went to Santo Winery. Beautiful winery. It's up high, so you can have a beautiful view of the sunset. Although I was freezing, it was windy, and even though I had booked reservations, like, we didn't have the best seat. We got the seat that, like, when the building wraps around, you sit on the side. Like, we just got a beating by the wind. So I asked to move inside, which they did, and I enjoyed it so much more once we got inside. From there, from that experience, we went straight out to the bars. We won one night where we just kind of like partied together. So we went to Fira and started at Two Brothers and just kind of like bopped around the bars from there. Had a great time together. So that day was jam-packed with the hike, the winery, and going out. So fun. I forgot to mention what we did for dinner. We ended up just having street food that night, and the street food was actually like our favorite Greek food. We just love like the gyros and the souvlaki on the street. So today we like really took it slow since we had been drinking the night before. We weren't necessarily hungover. We were just kind of like a little bit more sluggish. So we decided to hang out at our place, and there was a panorama pool and a little restaurant called La Moustache. So we went out there, sat at one of the little cabana areas, got drinks, got pina coladas brought to us, just like different types of drinks all day. We weren't holding back. We got food brought. I got like another Greek salad, Braulio got octopus, and we just loved hanging out at our place that day. And then for dinner that night, just check my notes, we also ended up just staying in and getting gyros from a place called Jimmy's Gyros in Ammoudi, which were so good. So definitely enjoyed the street food. That was day 5. There are only 2 more days left. So day 6, we decided to do the hike the other way. We hiked from our place in Ammoudi down to Fira. Along the hike this way, you can hike to a place called Skaro's Rock. I didn't know that it was a little bit of an intense hike, so I decided to put on a dress. I bought so many like Fashion Nova dresses for this trip, so I was like, I need to wear all my dresses. So I put on a dress, but I was like, you know what? I don't know if it's gonna be windy, so I put spandex on under the dress. And thank God I did, because I didn't realize that the hike to Skaro's Rock, at some point you're literally like rock climbing. Just when you get to the top of it, if you want to get all the way on top, you have to like rock climb probably like over 6 feet to hop on top. It is not for somebody who's not athletic if you want to go all the way up. If you're not athletic and you want to do it, you can still do the hike, but you probably just won't make it all the way to the top. You'll still get the views and like see all the wonder of Skaro's Rock, but it ended up being totally worth it. I'm glad I had the spandex, because yeah, you're going straight up and anyone behind me would have seen everything. So just know that that hike is intense. Then we did the rest of the hike to Fira. That's when we did a lot of like souvenir shopping for family. We ended up having a drink at La Scala for a drink. Yep. And then we ended up walking back, because the walk to Fira and back was like way shorter than the one to eat. It only took us probably like 45 minutes. And we had dinner at a place called Avocados, which was super close to where we were staying at Galaxy. That was a great dinner. I got lamb. I forgot what Braulio got. I'll try to find the photo of it. And enjoyed our time there. Watched the sunset from the jacuzzi that night, and that was like the most beautiful sunset of our entire trip. Like, people were just gathering everywhere to watch the sunset. I'll drop that photo too. And then we only had 1 more day. So we took the ferry back to Mykonos. And since it was our last night, we were pretty much just going to the airport the next day. I decided to stay at a place that was like near the airport. This place had free airport transportation and it wasn't as pricey as our other ones. I don't remember if I mentioned this, but the one at Galaxy was like €420 a night, something like that. So about half as much as we paid at Branco. Gialos was like $192, and it was super cute. We love staying at Gialos. They had a little bar, a restaurant that we got a drink at, and then we ended up going, you could also walk in and out of town, so you didn't have to get a driver. We literally just walked to town that night. Remember I mentioned before, we went to Katerina's. We ended up going back there for dinner, and we loved our dinner food. We're so happy we went back there. We watched the sunset by the windmills, which was a super cute thing to do. Like, we both just got like a drink and sat and watched the sunset together. And then we wanted one more like hurrah, so we went out to Little Venice and just like had a drink or two at one of the little bars, and then that was it. That was our entire trip. So I mentioned I did everything perfectly. The only thing is I wish I wouldn't have done round trip flights in and out of Mykonos, because I wouldn't have wanted to take the ferry twice if I didn't have to, and then we could have enjoyed like one more night in Santorini instead of just like, oh well, it's our last night, like we're not gonna go crazy. It would have been like a full day, you know? So I would have done just like one-way flights to wherever we were going. I would have stayed maybe, and then I would have gotten to stay one more day in Mykonos where we could have done a beach club. I would have searched a little bit more if there was like another place that I might want to stay in Mykonos that it was like more bang for its buck. Like I mentioned, the room wasn't as big as we wanted it to be, but we loved everything else about it. We loved our trip. We loved the food. We loved our jacuzzis. We loved the view. We loved hanging out together. We loved that we were married. And when you're just married, probably everything tastes and looks even better too. I would totally go back to Greece. Overall, we probably spent, well, just on like rooms alone, we spent like 6,000. And then when we were there, we spent like probably around 2, maybe a little bit less than 2,000 on everything. So muy caro, expensive trip. But when you're just married, like I say, live a little, and you can totally do Greece however you want to. Some people spend way more than us. Some people can do it budget friendly, and we would have definitely done it budget friendly if we hadn't just got married. But Braulio was like, girl, you do what you want. This is our time to splurge. And I was like, all right, babe, don't ask me twice. So I got nice places, and we didn't hold back when we were there. We went to the nicest restaurants that, you know, we actually wanted to go to, and just had a great time. Like I said, we went in May, and I never really mentioned much about this, but the busy months are June, July, August. Those are the busy months because it's also like the nicest weather, and I think that's when like more Europe has their holiday. But I liked going in May because it was like mid-70s in the day and like 60s at night. This means we were able to enjoy our jacuzzi because it wasn't so hot that we didn't want to be in like hot water. And then when we were hiking, like we didn't overheat. Towards the end of the trip, when we were doing Skaro's Rock, it started to be more like 78, 79 degrees Fahrenheit. And we were like sweating like crazy. And we're from Miami, but since you're up high with direct sunlight, it was like, it felt nice and toasty. So I actually liked going when the weather was like a little bit more on the cooler side. I would definitely go in May again. The shoulder months are May, September, October. So you can't go wrong. I hope that I didn't ramble too much. You enjoyed this vlog, and if it helps you, if you're kind of like chill like us and you like to just relax, eat and drink, and have a good time, then this is a pretty good itinerary. And let me know if you liked this kind of video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've been watching my videos and haven't subscribed yet, it helps me a lot. Like, comment, let me know why you're here. And if you're into some of those workout videos too, go ahead and watch more so we can get that fitness inspo out there. And I hope to see you soon on the channel. I love you. Thank you for watching this whole thing. You are the best.